know before you go what you want to get out of it, and not, I want to get more clients. We all want to get more clients, that's brilliant. But actually, is it that, okay, I'm going to go with a bit of a goal. I'm going to speak to 5 people, so there'll be 5 new people that know about my business and me and what I do. Hi and welcome to Business Rainbows and Unicorns, where there's no such thing as failure if you don't try. This podcast is specifically for business owners or wannabe business owners. Say you've got a side hustle, or you've got a passion for something and you think it'd be absolutely amazing, or you see people that do amazing things with their passions and what they enjoy doing. Well, you can do that. So please subscribe. It always helps a little podcast like ours. Listen along for tips, tricks and advice. You will just need to add your passion and spark to help you build a successful business. And we hope you enjoy listening to this episode. Hello and welcome to Breakout Business Rainbows and Unicorns. This episode we're going to be talking about networking. Whether you're brand new to networking or you've done it before, you've done it for years, you've tried every networking group or you've tried no networking group, it's a bit of a minefield, and you feel, I think you assume some people are naturally amazing at it and some people aren't, but it's something that can be a bit of a skill. But once you're used to it and once you're there and once you've found the group that works for you, then it's really, really good. So if you're brand new or don't even know what networking is, the true definition of networking is basically getting to know other people, talking to other people, telling people about your business and sharing ideas and getting to know different businesses. When in a business sense, a lot of people say networking, they assume networking groups. Now, there are 1,000,001 networking groups out there. So there's ones which cost you thousands of pounds a year to free ones that to attend. Whatever area you're in, wherever you are, there will be a networking group local to you. The format of them might be different. It might be a sit down and formal meeting. There's a lot of breakfast networking groups, and some of them are a stand, chat, have a cup of coffee, drip in, drip out, and just see how it goes. I personally, when I first started out, I did join or went as a guest to every single networking group in the area. So I didn't pay for anything. I just visited and was a bit of a networking girl, shall we say, of attending everything I could. So I got to know what worked for me and what didn't. I had some really horrible experiences, which I thought was a me problem, to the point I had some really, really good and welcoming experiences. So to break that down, I tried to find what worked for me. Now, it's a bit like going back when you ask who your ideal client is. Your ideal client is not everybody, the same as you won't be able to network with everybody. Some people are either not interested or don't need your services, and likewise, you might not be interested in them and you might not need their services. So it's working out what works and fits you, because as I say, some networking groups can cost thousands and thousands of pounds a year, and if that doesn't work for you, then that's a lot of money and time wasted. Whereas if you've got a monthly free networking group, it's your time, you're not spending out on any money. So the important thing is to try them all, see what works, see what doesn't, and go from there. Now, I would suggest going through and trying them all, trying to meet a couple of people, and as you set up your business, once you've spoke to a few people in business, they will know of or recommend different ones you can go to. Most groups, even if they charge, you can go along as a bit of a freebie or as a guest, or you just pay a one-off for that day, so you're not committed. Now, the way some networking groups work is the ones that do cost a lot of money a year, you should get a lot of money back from them. So they're kind of trying to guarantee that. However, nothing's guaranteed. But also you are expected, when you're paying quite a lot of money, you are expected to help other people within that group as well. There's also lockouts, so you can always, you will be, so say for example you're a gardener, you will be the only gardener in that group. So if that group's already 20 to 30 people in the group, you will hopefully get 20 to 30 clients. However, it doesn't always quite work like that. The flip side of that is you can then be ranked in a traffic light system to how much business you've brought into the group. So if you're then working with someone like Liam, for example, who's a podcast maker, you would hope to recommend him. And if you recommend him, he's got another client. That's a monetary amount's put against that. So you've then bought that business into the group as a whole. And that's what you're traffic lighted against. So it's quite an investment. However, you think you've got 20 to 30 people also working for you. You should then gain more business out of it. Now, pros and cons on that is that you should be able to get more business out of it, but it's also then a lot more time because you're pitching other people's business. Now, hands up, Breakout does that for free. If we've worked with someone, we obviously get a lot of inquiries and a lot of questions. So we kind of have this little black book of people. So if we've worked with someone and we know they're really, really good and they're going to be represent our business really well, we will recommend them. That's just something we do. So naturally, especially if you work in a smaller area, you kind of get that for your business already if you're a good networker to start with. So if you're happy to put yourself out there. Now, the flip side of that, there are free ones, which can be a bit intimidating because you know there's going to be, it's not really formal, you're going to turn up, you don't know what to expect, there's not an agenda, it can be locally there's a government funded group that does these and you can get 50 to 100 people at those events. Brilliant. But if you're walking in that room for the first time, you don't know who you want to talk to, you don't know who's there. Hands up, I've been to one of them before and I got chatting to a guy who was an inventor. Think Back to the Future style inventor. Great Scott! We ended up chatting for quite a while, but no disrespect, I couldn't help him and he couldn't help me. So for on both sides, that wasn't a great value of our time, stood and chat together. However, there could have been other people that would have worked really, really well for me. So, and likewise, I could have done for them. However, first impressions count. I never went back there again. So that's just my experience. But the same with I never ever joined one that was thousands of pounds worth a year because all of my time and effort was going into promoting my own business. So you don't want to be paying and promoting someone else's business when all of your time is want to go on your own. So it's working out what works for you. You might feel more comfortable having that support with several people in the room who are going to push you as much as you're going to push them. However, you might want to just concentrate on pushing your own business. Now, there's obviously a lot of different groups in the middle of that. There was one I joined, really, really local, really lovely group of people. We got to do different presentations every fortnight when we met up. I did a presentation on my business, so people got to understand, but you didn't have to promote each other. So there wasn't that kind of agreement, but also it cost the price of breakfast, and you got breakfast. So time versus money, it was really, really good. And also as a startup, you got to meet the same or similar people each week. People drifted in and out, but you got to, when it's like your elevator pitch, then it's almost you're practicing your elevator pitch in front of the same people. And that gave you more confidence. It kind of helped, you knew what worked, what didn't work, and it felt like a bit of a local safe space that enabled you to do that. So then from there, although it was a commitment, I think it was a monthly commitment, but you weren't signed up for a year in advance or 2 years in advance. So I would say that with networking, it is finding out what suits you and fits you and works well for your business. There will be certain businesses, so I would say solicitors, accountants, that there's certain networking groups that work really well for them. However, if you're like Breakout, you're a bit more outside the box, might not be the same fit as what works for them. But it's going back to your client base. Who are your clients? Where are they? Do you want a client who I would say is a bit more corporate, that's got thousands of pounds worth of money to invest in networking? Or are you looking for someone they're a brand new business, they know they need help, but it's a bit chicken and egg with the money? So once you've found that group of people, the way of networking really, really well is just talk to them. Get your business cards, get your flyers, practice what you're going to say to people, how you're going to explain your business, and then you will naturally network from there.
For myself, networking hasn't been something that I have done traditionally, because I've been an employee and I've moved from employee world to business world. I've been to some conferences and things, but it's never been like, I'm here to do business, I'm here to promote the company, because I was just an employee. So if we're using me as an example, or somebody who's perhaps given networking a try, but they've never got it, or they've not had a good experience, let's say, are there any kind of best tips? I know you've mentioned a couple already, but are there any things to think about, to have honed in before they go, to find the right space for them? Is there anything you recommend for that?
I would, at a lot of networking events, people are there to sell themselves. So they've got their own agenda. What worked better for me is I didn't actually take business cards. I would collect their business cards, because then the ball's in my court whether I want to contact them or not.
Ah, smart. I like that.
And also then it was like, have you got a business card? And I'd be like, oh no, but if you've got one, and then explain a bit about what I do. Oh no, I'm not. And it kind of made me feel more comfortable, rather than just giving a business card and not knowing what to say. I would then be able to say, oh no, I don't have a business card yet, I've just started out, I've just started doing this, I've got a couple of clients. So I kind of had that, and then I relaxed a bit more into the conversation. But also, there's some people that you will meet who are very hard traditional salesmen. So the minute you've given them your card, they will ring you, and they will ring you a lot, whether you're interested or not. So it's then putting it on your terms, but also then creates a bit of conversation, because it's a bit like, well, it's exactly the same as almost dating or speed dating or blind, that sort of scenario. It's that, what am I going to say? Hello, what do I do? So it's kind of having in your head who you want to talk to, because if you come across someone, so let's say you come across an accountant, don't need an accountant, already got one. Oh, can I take your card? Oh, brilliant, I do have an accountant, but at the moment I'm doing X, Y and Z, whatever it might be. So then you're still having that conversation, but then you can say, yep, done it, move on to the next one, because it's time restrictive otherwise.
So it's focusing in on what it is that you want to achieve. Not getting stuck with that one person who might be a great person and interested in everything. Give them that little bit of information about what it is that you do. But then I like what you said there about you almost vetting people. I'll take your business card, and if it looks like we could be a good fit, then I'll reach out to you.
Because also it's kind of who you get on with as well. You might need an accountant, but if you're talking to someone and you're not getting a good vibe and don't really like them, why would you want them to do your accounts for you? So it's like an interview process at the end of the day. Are we a good fit? Are we going to get on? Because ultimately, if they're going to be a client or you're going to be their client, you're going to be dealing with each other quite a lot. So how much do you want to be dealing with each other? So it's that if you feel better that that's all in your control, then
gives you the power.
I would take their card. I would also just know before you go what you want to get out of it, and not, I want to get more clients. We all want to get more clients, that's brilliant, but actually, is it that, okay, I'm going to go with a bit of a goal, I'm going to speak to 5 people, so there'll be 5 new people that know about my business and me and what I do. So if that's the case, that's what you want to go with your goal. It can't be too generic, but at least you go with a bit of a, okay, this is an hour, 2 hours of my time. What do I want? What do I need to get? Because I could be working for 2 hours. So what's the value of that to be able to go to networking? And that's where I think people will just go to, especially the free ones. There's not much monetary investment in it. However, that's still 2 hours plus travel time that you could be working.
It still comes at a cost.
Whereas if you're going, and normally the ones that pay, it's sit down. But then even if you're sat down, it might be that networking's for 2 hours, but you might want to talk to the person who's on the opposite side of the room. So you catch them afterwards. So then that's another hour of your time because you're trying to catch that person because you were sat next to someone who you're not going to work with for whatever reason. So it's just confidence is key. But if you're not confident, I wouldn't want that to put you off networking because people, like I say, they're there, let them sell to you. If you're not confident in talking, people will still come up to you and talk because they want you to buy their services.
Yeah.
However, if you do have the confidence to put yourself out there, and whether it's you feel better with a flyer or without a flyer or card, whatever, but just try lots to see what fits you best. So Breakout now in Sudbury does a networking event. It's every third Thursday of the month from 4:30. It's one of the free ones, but we have guest speakers. So there's a bit of format. So it's to come in, mingle a bit, having a guest speaker, so learning about someone or a local business or a certain topic that's quite key at the moment for business, because we find that a lot of people have exactly the same questions. So once you start talking to people, they've got the same problems or someone else in the room has had the same issue, and that's what our networking is about, problem solving. So if we can solve the problems in the room and give value, that's a good use of your time to come into the networking. So it's every third Thursday of the month, from 4:30 till it finishes. We say till 7, however it did go on till 8 last time because everyone liked chatting a bit too much. And as I say, everyone's welcome, so no matter what. And if people don't get good value out of it, then some people leave early. If people like to stay, they like to stay, so it's quite casual.
Yeah, so an ideal way to start off your networking journey if you're just dipping your toe in there as well. So
yeah, exactly. And one of us, there's always, all three of us are there, so there's always someone to come and talk to you to make sort of say that initial hello, and we do try and move people around to, oh, okay, you need to meet this person, because we normally know what everyone does.
Connecting the dots, not just letting somebody kind of hide in the corner if they're feeling a bit nervous, like, oh, I know that you should probably talk to this person.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of what we've just spoken about. Yeah,
exactly that. So yeah.
Excellent.
Cool. Thanks. If you've enjoyed this episode about networking, please like, subscribe and follow the podcast on all the platforms, and keep listening and sharing with, maybe there is someone who you think should know more about networking or is having that problem. So please share and tag this episode with them and listen to more future episodes. Hi and welcome to Business Rainbows and Unicorns, where there's no such thing as failure if you don't try. This podcast is specifically for business owners or wannabe business owners. Say you've got a side hustle or you've got a passion for something and you think it'd be absolutely amazing, or you see people that do amazing things with their passions and what they enjoy doing. Well, you can do that. So please subscribe. It always helps a little podcast like ours. Listen along for tips, tricks and advice. You will just need to add your passion and spark to help you build a successful business. And we hope you enjoy listening to this episode.